What's happening, guys? Nintendo Boy 17 here with a bit of a rant on quite an old topic, but one I like to get off my chest nonetheless. And that is region encoding and how I grew to hate it. I admit, at first, it didn't bug me all too much back when I lived in my home country in the US, as I never really traveled outside it. Granted, I did have interest in some stuff that were never localized in my home nation, especially after watching Jew Wario's You Can Play This, but I still wasn't too bothered by it until I later moved into the UK, and it was then when I started developing a hatred. What more can be said what hasn't already been said? Imagine buying a game or movie in another country and when you take it home realizing it doesn't work. It could be either the disk itself isn't compatible, console's firmware, or region and locking chip. Either way, it's annoying and you realize you wasted your money on something that won't work for you. Unless you buy either another DVD player or another game console, or find some way to risk the life of your hardware and modify it, which I never do. You're lucky enough to have systems that are region free, or have a system with some sort of loophole in them. An example of that loophole is with two of my favorite Nintendo systems, the Nintendo 64 and the GameCube. For the Nintendo 64, specifically the US versions, all you need to do is buy a Game Shark, have any Japanese game, then play it. This doesn't seem to work with European games or consoles due to different boot codes, though. For the GameCube, buy a freeloader disc, select a region by getting into a certain menu, then swap it out for a game for that region. Sounds pretty simple. But unfortunately, as much as I love Nintendo, they've been a major supporter of this since the NES, and it got worse. Like I said with the systems above, they used to have some loopholes, and heck, the Game Boy family, as well as the original DS and DS Lite, were region-free. But when DSi, Wii, and 3DS released, they started to get more blocked thanks to firmware updates and choosing to lock services in specific games to the region it's based in. Weirdly enough, if you have a DSi enhanced cartridge, it'll still play okay on a DS or DS Lite, as I've seen with Sonic Classic Collection. But it's still locked all the same for DSi and 3DS systems. Normally, I'm not the kind of guy who thinks Nintendo should follow the route of their competition, as every first-party system has different audience appeals. But in the case of region encoding, why not follow Sony and Microsoft as PS Vita, as well as the upcoming PS4 and Xbox One, post backlash for the latter being without region limits? To end this, I'll admit that it's not a major thing when buying entertainment machines. It is a common practice. But it would be nice convenience if you didn't have to deal with all that. Less money to be spent. Low chance, but I'm hoping Nintendo sees once more about lifting region limits and how it benefits us for consumers, but like I said, not holding my breath. That's it for me on this video, and thank you for listening.